the flights for a full family of 5
Was hella cheap.
was extremely cheap because there was nobody in the airport or on the planes. It was like we had our own private jet. What did y'all take over?
I want to build a restaurant here in Panama City.
We left the United States matrix, went broke in Mexico, moved to Panama, rebuilt the income stream, and now our front yard is the ocean, as you guys can see, and our backyard is the mountains. Are you trying to escape from something? Whether it's bills, whether it's discrimination in your country, whether it's just not being able to get ahead, whether it's the concrete jungle like where we come from. In this story, my wife and I, what's your name?
Kim,
We're going to tell you how our family of how many
5.
escaped the United States, right? How we left the United States matrix, went broke in Mexico, moved to Panama, rebuilt the income stream, and now our front yard is the ocean, as you guys can see, and our backyard is the mountains. Okay, so tell them a little bit about you, because
I'm building an empire, which is in the asset recovery space of lead generation.
okay, and what is your ultimate goal?
I want to build a restaurant here in Panama City. I want to build a restaurant / skating rink.
Cool. So we do have our children with us. We've been traveling with our children since 2020, since before the scamdemic. We didn't bring the microphones, so if the waves are super loud, then lo siento. That means my bad. Sorry. We're also going to talk about why we're still not fluent in Spanish after all these years of not being in the concrete jungle.
So embarrassing.
Okay, so guys, this is how it all started, man. In 2014, I left my 9-to-5 job. Right? I used to be an over the road truck driver, and then I was a bus driver for the city of Metro, for the city of St. Louis. Right? And I was depressed. I was miserable. I hated that freaking job. You understand? And it wasn't because of the activity of driving the bus. It was because I hated supervision. I've never been a person that liked authority. I always knew that God meant for us to be free and be able to live in a fulfilling life in the definition that we put out there. I didn't want to be restrained or tied down by, a 9-to-5 hourly wage job that doesn't allow me to do what I want to do. At the time, my wife, she was working the 9-to-5 job as well. You understand? And her taste getting out there, she realized real quick that she didn't want to work the 9-to-5 job either. When she saw, hold on, you was working at where?
Walmart.
And what happened?
Yeah, I would work Walmart chef all week, and then I would come home and he have made my check within that one day.
Right. So Walmart at the time, I can't remember, it was like $10 an hour or something like that, right? Like, and she would go to work all day. This is after I already left Metro. We had moved to Mexico, Missouri, right? After we left Paducah, Kentucky. She would go to work all day, come home, and I'd be chilling in bed looking like a deadbeat, right? And then I'd flip the screen around and show her that I had made $500, $1,000, maybe even $3,000 dollars that day. So she was like, that don't really make sense for me to like still be going to this job. So I said, well, quit. She was stubborn. She always wanted to see what it was like working. I said, you're going to get tired of working the job real quick.
Because, as being mothers, we are in the house all the time with the children. So just by having a job, we can get a little break from the kids or whatever. So I wanted that. And then also I wanted to, I pretty much just wanted to get out the house.
Yeah.
And make my own money.
Well, I always told her you can also make your own money by building your own business, right?
Yeah. So when he made my check, I was like, oh, okay. I bought me a computer. Some softwares. bought me a logo off of Fiverr. I just went in,
Yeah.
making, creating my own business.
Then she started creating content,
Yeah.
her own channels, and
Yeah.
started making money through entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
So now she's on the pathway. She has her own asset recovery business where she helps people like you find lost money and assets that the government might be holding from you guys that you don't know about.
Yeah.
And she's using that to fund her restaurant chain that she's going to build over here in Panama. Hopefully one day it will go global. But let's get back to the U.S. Before we left the U.S., I was just sick of it. You understand what I'm saying? I understood that it wouldn't be no place, no state that we could move to where we would feel free, where we could ride down the street and not be wondering what's going to happen if you see them red, blue, them red and blue lights behind your car. You understand what I'm saying? Or if you do make more money, how much more are you going to get taxed, or just a whole bunch of things that we were dealing with. So we were planning to move to Florida, but that ain't how it went. Once we got to Mexico, Missouri, we were on YouTube, and we ran into a dude named
Cortez Ross.
Speak up, because of the
Cortez Ross.
We ran into a dude named Cortez Ross. And where was he at? Like, what country was he?
He was in Colombia, Medellin.
He was in Medellin, Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
Was he in Medellin, Colombia by himself?
No, he had his family.
He had a whole family. And what did he look like? What was his nationality?
Black.
He was the only so-called black, so-called African-American person we had ever seen, besides foreign, black people, but like from America, that we had ever seen traveling abroad and living abroad with a full family. See, y'all guys, y'all watch those nightclub videos of Medellin, Colombia with the single expats and all of that stuff. That stuff ain't apply to us. I'm not trying to go to Medellin and get shot up from dancing with somebody's girl, right? So he was the only one out there at the time doing videos on the cost of living, the fruits. Remember that video?
Yeah, the fruits, the food being cheap, the rent being cheap. We like,
Yo.
it's time to go.
And the food was so natural and delicious looking and all of that extra stuff. So
he also was saying, like, when he got there, he was heavy set, and when he got there, he lost weight because of they don't have all these additives in their food.
Yeah.
And I was just sold. I was like, babe, we gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. So our initial plan was Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
We were in love with Colombia. We were so much in love with Colombia that we started buying consultations with people that was living there at the time. It was this couple. What was the name of that couple? Channel?
It was Phil and Nicole.
No, we ain't buying no consultation with them.
Oh no, it was
How to Expat.
Yeah, How to Expat.
Yeah, it was this couple from, I think they were from.
It was Tasha and Sam.
Yeah, where were they from?
They were from Switzerland.
They were from Switzerland, and they were living in Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I'm saying, guys. Like, whatever experience you do have, you don't have to be a supreme expert. But if you can help bring a person from point A to point B, that's enough to make a business off of. Yeah. So since they had successfully relocated to Medellin, made a lot of connections and knew how to, the cost of living of all this extra stuff like that, we were able to pay them for a consultation. We reached out to them. They were cool. And it just added fuel to the fire. We got even more excited about moving to Colombia, from that. Then we started ordering Spanish lessons off of Fiverr, trying to, like tutors and stuff like that, trying to figure out, we got to figure this Spanish stuff out because we out there. You understand what I'm saying? So I got another video that we're going to do after this, not today, but after this, that's going to reveal our checklist. We had a checkoff list. It's not going to be real for you guys until you create a checkoff list and start marking things off. It started with getting just something simple, getting the pictures. Where we get our pictures taken at?
Walgreens.
Yeah, Walgreens. We just got our pictures for the passport.
Yeah.
Then we went and actually applied for the passports. And the more stuff we started checking off, like it started becoming real in our mind that we're actually doing it. This is why productivity people always talk about creating a to-do list, because you start feeling fulfilled and it becomes real to you.
Yeah. I guess we could probably get into like how things went into the next video, like how things went when we had a lot of resistance when it comes towards getting one of our child's
Passports. Yeah, we'll talk about that in the checkoff list. So that's the reason for you guys to subscribe if you like, for sure. But for real though, guys, like, listen, create that checkoff list. But anyway, you like, well, how the hell are you guys in Panama? And how come you still never ended up in Colombia? And we're going to explain that in this video. Okay, so as we were getting stuff marked off the checkoff list and stuff, a scamdemic occurred.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know what it is. It's the 2020 coronavirus ended up happening.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, as we were marking things off our checkoff list, they started shutting down the borders.
Mm.
So one of the things on our checkoff list was the plane tickets, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And we had plane tickets to go to Colombia, right? And what happened?
What happened was that soon as we got on the bus, we rode the bus, we was sitting at the bus station somewhere, I think it was Atlanta or something like that. They was like, they shut down the borders of Medellin. Medellin, Colombia shut their borders down. It was the 16th. They shut it down on the 17th.
Yeah, like
oh my God, I was so devastated.
Yeah, we were pissed. We didn't even know what we were gonna do next. So we were like frantic trying to figure out how the hell to get out the country. And they just shut down the borders. We was asking, can they just let us get on the plane? Can we just get the hell? I was this close to escaping.
Oh my God, it was just.
Yeah, we were this close. I was depressed like a mug.
I was too. I was like, but I kind of figured that, we spiritual, we believers in God, and I pray, I ask God for, to intervene if, I ask him to choose places and intervene if it's not right for us. I asked him to do that. But at that moment, I was like, no, I just don't believe this is it. But as I calm down, as an antic child, you calm down and you just realize like, okay, it ain't me. It wasn't me. But at that moment, I was sick, y'all, because it was all of us, and we had a dog with us.
Yeah.
At the bus station, sleeping on the floor on top of our luggages. People coughing not too far from us. People coughing. I'm like, this people got COVID. I'm scared,
So look, they might be curious, like, hold on. Y'all had cake. Why were y'all at a bus station? You know what I'm saying? Why y'all didn't just take direct flights out and all of that stuff? As COVID was beginning to happen, we panicked. They were shutting down like airports and different ways to go out. So we were trying to get to Florida to get a flight out the country as like fast as possible. And in St. Louis, Lambert Airport, where we were going to go out of, they didn't have anything open to leave out. So we was like, what's the fastest thing we can do? Like, what's the fastest thing we can like just hop on and get out of here? And it was the damn horrible Greyhound.
Yeah.
The horrible Greyhound.
Yeah.
So that's why we was on the bus. We wasn't broken nothing. It was just like, damn.
No, we wanted the experience of riding, remember?
No, we didn't want no damn experience. I didn't want no experience.
You did not want to get stopped by the cops, remember?
We already had drove to St. Louis in the rental.
You said, I know. And
that was the time that I was talking about. You talking about why we didn't drive down?
Yeah, because we was going to drive.
We were going to drive to Florida so that we can make it faster. But yeah, at the time, you know, Negroes was just getting stopped
pulled over.
shot every
Yeah,
5 damn
it
minutes.
wasn't that-
So I wasn't trying to like tempt it on the way out. It's like being this close to crawling out of the gates of hell and the door is open and you like, and then Lucifer just grab you, right, and just yank you right back down there. So we was this close to escaping the United States. So I was like, I'm not gonna be one of them Negroes that's just on the news
So,
shot out. Yeah,
so that's what happened.
yeah,
We, instead of us driving down there, because I wanted to drive, you know, I wanted to ride and enjoy and look at the scenery and go through the states and give our children that experience. So we was like, well, the only way we will be able to like avoid being pulled over was to get on the Greyhound. And that's where the Greyhound came in. Because if we took the plane, we would have been there.
yeah.
But we took, you know, but everything happened for a reason. Like I told you guys, God knew what he was doing because, and then we'll let you guys know. You know.
Yeah. So ultimately, the border shut down
Completely.
and we could not get the hell out. Like,
Yeah.
look, just imagine that. Like you this close to being out the freaking country.
Yeah.
It's like you almost escaped prison.
Yeah.
And then somebody was like, who's that dude climbing over the fence right there? And they popped your butt.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's how close we were. And then they just boom, the borders were closed. And from our perspective, I thought all the borders was closed because it was so many countries that closed their borders. So like I said, we were caked up at the time, but we just thought none of the borders was open because the majority of them that we were searching for,
It
we even,
said country shut down. That's what it said all over the news. It was country shut down.
yeah,
We didn't, because we stayed in Florida from March all the way up into July.
yeah.
You know, so we didn't get the notion that Mexico was open until July.
Okay, so we in Florida for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Right? Working, sweating like a mug, spending up a lot of freaking money that we was trying to like keep.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
Airbnb.
Scarabnbs. Scarabnbs all over the freaking place. And we were trying to make the best of it, but the funny thing is, like, you want to know what's funny? We years before our plan was to move to Florida. So, guys, we still ended up moving to Florida, right? Before we left, right?
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, we couldn't enjoy it because it was snowing.
Yeah.
So Disney World was closed. Universal Studios, we couldn't take our kids to experience none of that stuff.
Yeah.
You hear me? So it just made us feel even more trapped, right?
Yeah. And my what was my goal? I had a goal of getting to the beach and having a margarita or a wine on the beach.
Yes.
That was like one of my affirmations. I never been on the beach before.
Yeah.
So couldn't get to the beach. It was just
Yeah. Couldn't do none of that. They didn't even want you to go to the beach.
yeah.
You had to be like one person here, one person there, two people here, all of that.
And you had to wear your mask.
Who want to be on the beach with a face mask on? Anyway, you hear me? Horrible, man. So one day I'm working as usual on the computer, trying to make some cake, right? And she comes into the room and what do you say?
Babe, Mexico is open.
Mexico.
Mexico is open.
I'm like, Mexico? I ain't trying to go. I'm trying to get to Colombia. And what'd you say?
I said to hell with
Speak up.
I said to hell with Colombia. Let's go to Mexico. Because we was getting information from it was the shutdown where they couldn't even do nothing there.
Yeah.
Like it was horrible there in Medellin, Colombia. Like
Yeah.
people like they couldn't even leave.
Yeah.
In Mexico, we were still able to leave.
Hold on, don't jump ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically, in Colombia, we got word that it went from a haven, a safe, free, liberating haven, to a damn martial law type prison. You hear me? Like Americans was getting robbed and all of this because the locals, the natives couldn't go to the stores and stuff because it was a shutdown.
Yeah.
So they would just break into their American neighbors' houses and get food and stuff that they needed.
Yeah.
So it was horrible in Colombia during the scamdemic. You hear me? So so when she said let's Mexico is open, I was like, she said, well, we might be able to still go to Colombia once all of this is over.
But let's go here. Let's
Just
go
to get out of the country. And
yeah, and then we had a whole lot of people was telling us like it's dangerous in Mexico. I'm like, look, y'all stay here all y'all want to. We fit to go. I wanted to experience something. I'm like, I didn't come this far. God didn't bring us this far to leave us now. That's what I was saying.
yeah.
I'm like, so, babe, let's go.
Look, I was so desperate to get out of the United States. F what they talking about the cartel. F what they talking about crime. Kidnap, all that stuff. I'm like, you can run into gangs in the U.S. I grew up on blocks with gangs in the U.S. I grew up on gangs with coke and drugs in the U.S. I grew up in the U.S. with cops and violence and murder and death and all of that stuff. I said, there ain't nothing y'all can say. And that's the point y'all got to reach. Watching this. So whereas none your family or friends can say, if you want to escape that place, not the land of freedom. So when she told me Mexico was open, I just girded my loins and was like, all right, let's go then.
Let's go.
So I said, go book the flight. So she immediately went to go book the flight. She did it. Like she went to go find. And the funny, crazy part about it was, since everybody was so scared of this real epidemic or scamdemic, they were so scared of this real disease out here that nobody wanted to fly. Nobody was traveling outside the U.S. for real. So
and we wasn't scared. We wasn't scared because we like, you know what? God got us.
Exactly.
God got us.
You gotta have faith.
Like, you gotta have faith. Yeah, and you just gotta believe that God won't bring you where you are to leave you there.
Exactly.
So my faith is strong, when it comes to certain situations like that. But like you said, when we get to those checkout lists, I'll show y'all how God is powerful, man. He's powerful.
So check this out. So when we was in the airport, first of all, the flights for a full family of 5
was hella cheap.
Was extremely cheap because there was nobody in the airport or on the planes. It was like we had our own private jet.
Yeah.
That's and we got cake, but we ain't got our own private jet. Just throw that out there. We do not have our own private jet. Okay.
It felt like it.
But it felt like it. It was nobody on them mugs. It was nobody in the airports. So we got the tickets for the full family for freaking breadcrumbs, chump change, if you want to call it that. Okay, so we flew into Mexico. And my biggest fear came to life. It was extremely hot. The whole point, one of the reasons I wanted to move to Medellin, Colombia, is because of the advertising of it being the place of eternal spring.
Springtime, all year round.
Yeah. I was trying to escape the 4 seasons. I'm not talking about the freaking hotel. I was trying to escape winter, summer, fall, spring, all of that. I wanted eternal damn spring. You hear me?
Yeah.
So that was one of the selling points of Medellin, Colombia. Right? But when we got to Mexico, I immediately was in a little, I was glad to be out of the States, but I was a little bit in a pissy mood when we first got there. Because even though they didn't force you to wear masks around Mexico, like walking around or none of that. But if you went into a store, you would have to put a mask on in certain stores. And they still made it to where if you went to a store, it was a certain number of people to go in there. Just because they were trying to stay within regulations of all the bull crap. But they kept the borders open. we were still able to make money. People still able to travel there, go to Fifth Avenue and go to the beach and do all that extra stuff.
Yeah, go out to eat. Yeah.
It was never shut down. So how do we go broke in Mexico? Well, first of all, we made the most money we ever made in our lives up to that point in and around our move to Mexico because I launched a product, a course. It was called The Godfather of Drop Servicing. So I'm talking about multiple times a day, people just dropping $2,000 out of nowhere into our bank account. This was the everyday thing that was going on, right?
Yeah.
But one day, we were at one of the Airbnbs, and we were about to leave the Airbnb and go to another Airbnb. And we couldn't access none of our damn money. What happened?
PayPal shut down our account. Stripe shut down our damn accounts. That was horrible.
It was extremely horrible.
That was horrible.
So what happened, what triggered it all, and this is what I try to warn people of now, man. You want to have multiple accounts because, and you want to warm those accounts up if you can't get a custom merchant account, right? So just bypass all this Stripe and PayPal stuff. What happened was, there had never been so many sales coming in at one time in that account. I called PayPal, tried to warm them up, let them know we were doing a launch and that it was going to be a whole crap load of sales coming in, right? They said, okay, cool, just go on, you know what I'm saying? Nothing's going to happen. All the sales came in, you know, they put some of them on hold, but that's normal. It wasn't no big deal, right? We had cake. But a person filed a damn charge back. That's all it took. Was somebody to lie, acting as if they didn't get access to the course. When all of those other thousands of people that got the course got access the exact same way. So PayPal is one of those customer come first type platforms, right? So even without investigating and everything, they froze our freaking account for how many days?
180 days.
180 days.
180 days. That's 6 months.
So that's why I say we went broke. You're like, huh? You went broke? You said it don't matter if you got money in your account if you can't access it. So for all of y'all that are trying to go completely digital and cash in a cashless society, think of stuff like that where you can't. Even just a couple weeks ago, we couldn't even access our freaking money. PayPal and all of these, and good thing that's only one of our accounts, and we still had access to money other places. So that's how we went like broke. All of our accounts froze or closed with the money in them. Talking about we'll give you access in 90 days. That's what Stripe said. Matter of fact, Stripe sent. Look at me, I'm still mad. Stripe sent all of those people their money back, even without them requesting a refund. They were cool. They were happy. They were in my private community, all of that. So
they basically had our stuff for free.
So imagine that. You built something to help people and you put a lot of hours and time and all of that and work and grind and sweat. And people just, you know, but I say, hey, God, you know, but so we couldn't access money from Stripe and we couldn't access money from freaking PayPal. We had hundreds of thousands of dollars on the freaking line. Right? And we were, pay attention, we didn't have our cousin around the corner. We couldn't say, F it, we can't pay for the next Airbnb, so let's just go to my mom's house or nothing. We're in a country where there's nobody that we know. We don't speak the language. We barely have any connections other than our taxi drivers.
Family was like, come back home, come and stay with us. Like,
naysayers and family members that never believed in us in the first place, because we're the first ones out the damn entire, both of our families to move out the country. We're like, see, just waiting for something like this. See, this is why y'all should be here. As if they would have gave us rent if we was there. Knowing damn well if we was there, they still would have been like, $5. I don't know if I can give you $5, you know. So don't listen to nobody, y'all. So what happened from there, which I thank God. I thank God that throughout the years I built a dang on bird just came and snatched up. What is that? A chip?
Yeah, it's a corn curl or something.
That's crazy.
It's hot.
That mug hot. Yeah, I know. That mug, he's still trying to eat it. He shook it and dropped that. He don't want no spicy chips. Anyway, back to it. Stay focused. Stay focused. So thank God that I built a customer list. And I didn't just collect sales. I had a customer list.
Yeah.
Thank God before we left the United States, we still had our debit cards. Right? Thank God we still had debit cards, because what happened when Stripe shut down and when PayPal shut down, my bank account that was attached to both of those got a fraud alert. So my US bank account locked up, and the only way for me to get it unlocked was to fly back to the US and prove I am who I am at the time. And I wasn't trying to go back to the US. And how the hell I'm gonna go back to the US in one damn day when we needed the money to get our next Airbnb right then and there?
Yeah.
So, see, guys, hey, yo, you go through stuff, guys. You gotta persevere. You gotta like endure. You understand? So basically, what happened was this: we called around. Nobody would save us. I pulled out my freaking email list of buyers, people that had just bought the Godfather drop servicing, even though most of them got it back free, even though most of them had free access, I had to be creative. Like, what would they buy even though they just like bought the course? They still excited about the course and all of that. I had to be creative. Oh, well, even though they got the course, they might need help implementing the steps of the course to actually make some money, right? So even though I didn't want to, I had to use my time to get money. So I did an email blast and I offered coaching sessions, one-on-one coaching sessions for, I don't remember how much it was, $1,000 at the time or something like that. One-on-one coaching. It might have been 500 because we were so damn like desperate at the time. Might even been 500. But I remember we couldn't collect the payment through PayPal. We couldn't collect the payment through Stripe anymore. How do we collect the down payment?
Cash App.
Cash App.
Cash App.
That's when I knew they loved me. They really loved me, because most people at that time thought Cash App was scammed and they were scared to send money through it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple of them like, because they wanted to be able to get a refund.
Exactly. So
They
like,
didn't-
send me a paper.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
we accumulated between $5,000 to $10,000 just from me sending out that email blast. That's how strong it is to have a list of people that bought your stuff before and an offer that they can't resist. So within an hour's time, we got between $5,000 and $10,000. And you might be like, well, how did you be able to make it spendable? Remember, I said before we left the U.S., we got a debit card, a net spend debit card, one of those prepaid debit cards. Thank God that was successful. Thank God we had Cash App on our phones, because in Panama, you can't download Cash App. They block it.
Yeah.
So thank God we already had, see, God is there. Thank God we already had Cash App on our phone, because it wouldn't have been no other way for us to get the money other than maybe Western Union. One time we had somebody send us some money through Western Union, right?
Yeah.
And we was able to pick that up, right?
Yeah.
But Cash App at the time, we were able to get that $5,000 to $10,000, and we were able to use our debit card to book our next scare B in B. Woo! Guys, so y'all see, that's how we went broke in Mexico. And it was one of the scariest experiences ever. Why? Because I am not just a husband who made promises to his wife that we would have a better life and, yo, let's leave the hellhole in the United States. we immediately talking about some, man, see, this place ain't that. Blaming it on the country. You hear me? It ain't the damn country. It was PayPal, Stripe, and whoever filed that damn charge back. The customer is not always right. Don't fall for that BS. But anyway, so we got our next Airbnb. I don't remember how it went, how we started looking for, we were having issues trying to get permanent residency. We looked up the permanent residency steps in Mexico, and it was like calculus / trigonometry.
Yeah.
And it was going to require for us to have to go back to the States to do a few of the steps. I'm like, dog.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to go back to the States. I'm one of those. I believe in the Bible where Lot's wife, where God or Christ sent those angels into Sodom and Gomorrah to save Lot's family and remove them out of all those people. And Lot's wife got the nerve to freaking look back as if she gonna miss that place. So I'm one of them I'm not finna say, hold up, I forgot something and go back. Whatever it is, we'll replace it. You understand? So when those steps to get permanent residency required that we would have to like go back to the States, I immediately was like, well, we weren't supposed to be even living in, Mexico anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's when she hopped online and we started looking up other countries. First we checked out, look, I think he's gonna come up the rocks. We might want to check, see how he climbs up the rocks so we can know how to get down that way. It's 2 beaches. It's one in front of us.
Down there too.
Oh, damn. They are climbing that way.
They fishing.
Oh, he finna just sit on the rocks and fish like that.
Yeah, they had a cooler down there too. Not a drinking cooler, but a cooler.
Hey, look at him. Look. He going that way you was talking about.
I told you.
All right, my bad, y'all. We got get distracted. Okay, but anyway, so we got online and we started exploring places. We explored Philippines, Vietnam. All these places were cool and cheap, but extremely far and extremely hot. So I'm like, look, he walking up all east. We looking like it's a death threat to go down. Oh, damn, he killed it. Okay, yeah, we gonna go that way. We trying to figure out how to get down these rocks so we can get to the second beach. And this dude in flip-flops just easily just walked up the damn rocks and stuff like that. But anyway, so now we know the path. Yeah. Okay, so guys, look, check this out. Hey, how you doing? Okay, so check this out. So while we were online, we were searching places. And they had to fit a specific criteria because this one right here was talking about how she's tired of moving. She want to get someplace and nest, you know what I'm saying, and sit down and build a life and all of that extra stuff. And I was in agreement with her.
Yeah.
So this place had to fit the criteria. Perfect. It had to be perfect, man. Mm-hmm. And the only place that we seen, like Colombia still wasn't it wasn't fully operational. Mm-hmm. So we like, damn, they still suffering from Snowvid. Mm-hmm. It sucked. We was watching the videos. They was just opening the clubs and stuff back.
Yeah.
But they were still wearing masks all damn day.
The people that inspired us to go, they all left. They wasn't there.
Yeah, they was gone. Even how the expat, they was out there.
Everybody was gone.
Yeah. So we was like, maybe one day or something.
Yeah.
So I did a Google search in best places, to move if you're from the United States. And,
we did that. But we also was rewatching one of our Journey to Tomorrow interviews. We did an interview with a guy was telling us, he said a place that was near Mexico. It was in Mexico, but it was like super close to the border.
Yeah.
And I was like, babe, let's go there. And you like, no, I don't want to go there. And then the dude said something about Panama Boquete.
Yeah.
So when we looked back at that interview, that's when you started to look at Panama.
Yeah. That's what's going on YouTube.
Because he said that's the best place for us as a family.
Yeah. first thing I looked up was the weather.
Yeah.
And the first thing I looked up was the weather. Like, what's the weather like in Boquete? And they said it was similar. Look at this big old bird. Yo, we get snatched away, y'all. You know, pray for us. But anyway, we looked up the weather. It was similar to Medellin. I'm like, see, they lied. They made it seem like Medellin was the only place in the world with springtime weather year round and all of that extra stuff. Yeah. So it marked off that list. Then it marked off the beauty list. I wanted to be near nature and all of that. I didn't want to be in a concrete jungle no freaking more. You understand what I'm saying? So Boquete is a small town, but it still have the essentials there and all of that stuff. And it's beautiful. It looked like Jurassic Park in Panama. It just always, wherever you go, look like Jurassic Park. And yeah, the laws and everything. I was looking up the laws for purchasing land and living there and getting your permanent residency.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as strict as Mexico.
Yeah.
So like Mexico was awesome. We enjoyed ourselves. We made some friends and acquired some new family there. But that visa process, they need to fix that.
They fixed it.
That we heard of.
They fixed it.
Yeah. So that's why we like moved here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we immediately start rebuilding new income streams that weren't just attached to PayPal or Stripe, and that we would always be able to dip back into those income streams if something dangerous was to happen, like what happened in Mexico.
Yeah.
So we figured out that lists are powerful. So I got more lists than I had back then when we were in Mexico. So every now and then, whenever we need a boost or a cash injection or something like that, we could just blast out an offer to our list. We built out more passive income streams. We have channels and websites and all of that extra stuff out there. So that's how we rebuilt out here. So our ultimate goal, now that we're here, we want to partner with a lot of the locals, not just Americans, partner with a lot of locals to build businesses and to utilize these little beach carts that be driving past. But anyway, yeah, to utilize our skills online and offline to like help around here, but build more income streams and take over. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So what do you want to say before we sign off?
I just want you guys to stay tuned, because I think that the other video is going to be like, it's going to be some eye-opening things, some things you guys can use and to get you guys ready to, leave the U.S.
Yeah, even if you're not planning on moving to Panama, the checkoff list video or the checklist video is going to be like extremely helpful.
Be able to work for any place you're trying to.
Exactly. And like I said, we did it. We did it as a married couple. We did it with children. Even one of our kids graduated since we done moved, graduated high school.
Online.
Exactly. About to start working online, all of that. So we're doing it. So we are a testimonial. We are a testimonial for you guys. For you. We are a testimonial for you guys. So that shows you that you can do it. Don't let nobody hold you back. Don't let nobody slip doubt into your mind. Don't let nobody that never did it before or even tried it before try to tell you the dangers of it or how it ain't gonna work for you.
Yeah.
Okay? So stay tuned, y'all, and we'll see you guys in the next one, Lord's will.
Yeah. Peace.